Hi, good people. Again, this is Deborah. This particular video is uh, I named it The Counterfeit Zodiac, Distortion of Virgo and Other Signs. Now, the counterfeit, I was thinking in terms of, well, let me just read the disclaimer and then I'll tell you my thoughts and how I wind up doing this video. All information provided on this channel is for educational purposes only, and this channel does not promote or encourage misuse of the information. I will use words that are intended to not offend anyone, but rather to describe my point of view and how I see things. Now, the soul Virgo, there is a soul Virgo, and there is a counterfeit Virgo. Draw upon synthesis of Gnostics, esoteric, astrological, and mystical tradition, and most of all, my intuition. These interpretations are symbolic and metaphysical in nature. The references included works of other writers. I will list them underneath the video. Now take what resonates with you and what does not resonate with you, put it on the shelf or throw it away. Now, ignorantly, I assumed that Virgos had the same trait that I have. And what was happening to me, I was running across so many Virgos, and when I say so many Virgos that has low vibration. And some was young and some was old. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I'm going through alchemical change. At some point, they should be going through alchemical change. But they were in low vibration. And that was throwing me off. It really was throwing me off. So I start observing even more closer. And then finally, my intuition told me there are counterfeit. What you're seeing are the counterfeits. They are the soulless beings. They're the ones that was created by the Anunnakis. You say Anunnakis. They're the ones that I call them the archons, or demons, or the invisible ones. Actually, if you go and look in the book of Genesis and chapter 30, and I think is, let's see, chapter 30, let's see. If you look at chapter 30 and you look at verses 32 through 43, that is, you're thinking that those are cattle. They are symbolically talking about cattle, but those are human beings being created. And if you go and carefully use your discernment, you see that. So when you talk about Jacob, name in Hebrew is Jacob. So, was there a man named Jacob? That would be Yardabeth up there in the moon. And there are many different names that Yardabeth was called. And also, Yardabeth decided to make himself some people to serve him because the original people would not serve him as it is today. They may come into serving him in ignorance, but once they find out who he is, like for me, I saw him in the moon, and he was jet black. He looked like the Malachi so-called Anu, even though Anu, the word "and" means sky, and Anu came from that, and then at some point they corrupted it and gave it to a superior deity, Anu. But anyway, that's another story. So let me get to there the true essence, which would be the soul Virgo, and the counterfeit version, which would be the false Virgo, and that applies to other zodiacs as well. There's a true Aries, and there's a false Aries. But I'm talking about the Virgo because Virgo, there's a reason why they created the humans in that Egypt zodiac. That's patriarchal. The zodiacs are all the zodiac signs are animal except for the Virgo. That's the true one. Like I said, you can discern the difference. Now, the soul Virgo is authentic, the eternal version, the nature, the daughter of Pleroma. Pleroma is the word that was used for what you know as heaven. There's no such. Heaven is a distorted word. It's Pleroma, and it's Pleroma. Bear with me because this is a long one. Now, Pleroma means the whole, the sovereign, the self-contained. She is the virgin because she depends on no man, no seed, no eternal authority for her wholeness. The elemental truth, cosmic, she is not of earth. The ones that are of earth, the Virgo that is of earth is actually the counterfeit. The true Virgo is from the cosmos. That's where she's from. She is not an earth sign. It is amazing how they twisted everything. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Human beings will not know knowledge unless the archons give it to them. The archons are the ones that have helped humans in the earth, period, with everything that they have. Now, the soul children are actually the creators. They have been suckered into creating because the archons are not creators. They have to work with what has already been created. And that's what's been going on. They have been using the soul children and there's only a few of them down here that have been ignorant. They use them to do their biddings. The soul children are wakening up. There's just a few of them. That's why when you go and talk as a soul child, you go and talk to someone that you think should be awakened. Just because they have knowledge of stuff, that doesn't mean that they are a soul child. Because people can gather information, period, and it'll sound like they are a soul child. You got to look at their ways. You got to look at their speech. You got to look at their behavior. You got to look at the way they live. If they are into the material world, that is a counterfeit. Especially if they're 50 and 60 years old. It's counterfeit. And they belong to the Anunnakis. Now, the element truth, the cosmic, she is not of earth originally. The virgin is an eternal principle of purity, order, and inner sovereignty. That's why there are Virgos that do not like people telling them what to do. I'm one of them. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just sharing the information that I know to be true. And that's why I always say in the beginning, take what resonates with you, and what does not resonate with you, throw it away. Somebody sent me a message the other day. They were giving me stuff that they've learned from other YouTube people, and that's no problem for me. But don't do that. Don't come on my channel telling me about stuff you learned from other. Go on your channel and publicize that. You have a channel. You do that. Now, if you're going to add to that, that's different. But you wasn't adding to that. You were telling me what you learned from somebody else. I ain't got no problem with you learning from somebody else. But at some point, you need to learn from within yourself. At some point. Learning from somebody else is a start. But at some point, you need to be getting your knowledge from within yourself. Because you do yourself injustice when you don't. Because your journey may be different from somebody else's journey. Excuse me. And that person, I just didn't like the way it was presented to me. You have to when you go to people's channel, you have to have respect. I go to people's channel all the time, viewing what they have, and I stay quiet. Now, if I scam through a book or scam through an article, I always put that underneath the video. When the person asked me, did I get that from a book? No, said, what book did you read? That pissed me off. Because you don't listen to my disclaimer. Listen to my disclaimer. I tell you exactly what I do. And that disclaimer is geared to what I'm talking about. Like right now, I've given you a disclaimer that's focusing on this particular video. So, and I do have references for this video, but it lets me know that when you ask a question of me, I'm gonna, I'm a real true Virgo. I'm gonna know exactly what you did or did not do. I'm gonna know it. And you do yourself injustice when you come to somebody, call yourself trying to either dispute what they're saying or just dispute what they're saying. You do yourself injustice because you make yourself look like a fool. But anyway, so the vibration, they nurture true wisdom, discernment, healing, and the protection of innocence. Energy signature, gentle but unyielding, like light that exposes deception but doesn't seek dominance. I'm not looking for dominance. That's not you. If someone comes and say to me, Miss Deborah, I've been with you 2 or 3 years, and okay, and I'm gonna start working on my channel now, and they unsubscribe me, hey, I'm happy for you, because I'm not here for nothing else. The connection tied to the higher self, the cerebral, the crown, and the great mother, eternal pattern. That's who the true Virgo is. And you probably didn't know this one. The Virgo and the hand mark. I have the M, the M shape in my hand. And I have it in both hands. You probably can't see it. But the M people, notice the letter M in the palm, formed by the crossing of the central lines in the hand, the head, the heart, the life fate. In esoteric symbolism, this M has been linked to the mother, the matriarch, and the mystic. Virgo, as a version of the pleroma, is the one who bears the true mark of the mother's sovereignty, not enslaved but whole. The M in the hand, the signature of the soul Virgo, who carries discernment, inner sovereignty, and divine order. Now, when you look at Hebrew, when you look at the Yod, the Y-O-D in Hebrew in Psalms 119, it's Psalms 119 verses 73 through 80. Now, in Hebrew, Yod, Y-O-D means the hand. It is the smaller letter in the Hebrew alphabet, but esoterically the seed of creation. Every letter begins with Yod. This mirror Virgo's rule, small, subtle, but containing the seed of divine wisdom. Psalms 119, 73 through 80 is the Yod section. This section of Psalms 119 is written under the heading of the Yod, which is the hand. Now, verse 73 says, Thou hands have made me and fashioned me, creation by the divine hand. Okay, not the vagina. Verse 80, Let my heart be sound in thy statutes, integrity, wholeness. The Yod verse speaks of being fashioned by the hand of the divine, aligning perfectly with the Virgo as the handmaiden of the cosmic order, not servant. She's not a servant, but sovereign, keeper of wisdom. Now, when you look at the number of verse 73 to verse 80, when you add 73 plus 80, it equals 153. When you add 1 plus 5 plus 3, that equals 9. But when reduced, the number is the number of Virgo. My mother told me, well, my birth certificate said that I was born on the 8th of September. But my mother said that I was born on the 9th of September. Now, you think I'm going to take some paperwork over with my mother? She know when she had me. And I did go to try to change that. But I was born on the 9th. And so, I carry the number 3, the number 6, and the number 9 within me. Now, and the number 12. Now, 9 is the number of Virgo. It means completion, initiation, the womb of higher birth. Now, this number also connects to the 153 fish over in John 21:11. It's a hidden Virgo mother code, the fish. Wisdom of water, the 153 fish, a sacred number, the triangle of 17, the vesica piscis, the measure of the fish, the triangular number of 17, the esoteric meaning in John 21:11. The disciples drew in 153 fish, yet the net did not break. Truth, this is the Virgo's power. She holds the harvest of souls intact, nothing lost, full term carried. The counterfeit Virgo, later twisted into Dagon the fish. If you look at the Pope wears the Dagon hat. God worshiping is that's the counterfeit, or just a miracle of material fish, stripping it of the cosmic math. Now, 153 is the 17th triangular number, meaning 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals uh, plus 17 equals 153. In sacred math, 17, spirit 1 uniting with matter is 7. So spirit means 1 and matter means 7, which is earth. Virgo. The Virgo harvester is precisely about spirit entering into form. What is form? Form is the physical body. Gestation, the process of going through the 9 months birthing and bringing it into the completion, coming out. It's completed at the 9th month. I've heard people say that they had their baby at 10th month. I don't believe that. It's perfect, so I don't believe that was a miscount. So 153 equals fullness of that cycle gathered in the net. The triangular number of 17, the true Virgos, 17 is 1, which is spirit. And, no, I'm sorry, 17 is the number 1 itself means spirit, and 7 means matter, the cycle of creation, the union of spirit and matter in harmony. Virgo holds this balance, keeping souls intact in the net. So the counterfeit, the Dagon, the fish god, takes over the sea, the chaotic water, uncontrolled matter, and turns the spirit matter union into hybridization, mutation, and confusion. Instead of ordering gestation, 17s becomes chaotic mixture. That is the lower Virgo. That is the Virgo that is considered to be earthbound. It's the counterfeit. The vascular pisces measure of the fish, the true Virgo. Geometry, let's see here. Geometry of 2 circles overlapping each other, producing the fish shape. That's what it looks like. It looks like it also when you type in NUN, NUN, it gives you the fish symbol as well. Originally, the fish was the soul, but they made it something else. Of course, they corrupt everything that they touch. Now, 153 relationships, the sacred measure of life, birth, and manifestation. Virgo is the archetype of the sacred conception without corruption. The counterfeit Dagon. Archons co-opt the vesica into fish god worshipping. Male priests wearing fish mattress, false sacraments of the sea. The fish become about submission to a deity of a deep, not cosmic harmony. Virgo seal in the 153. Virgo as the 9th principle, not the 9th month, but the 9th principle, gestation, ties directly into this number. 9 months of gestation of human life. 153 fish, gestation of the cosmic catch of souls. It's the Great Mother Order, reflected through the daughter version. Nothing chaotic, nothing lost. Virgo, as the cosmic virgin, is the one who measures, sorts, and harvests. The net not breaking speaks to Virgo, discriminating wholeness. She gathers the souls, which is, like I say, symbolic of the fish, without losing any. John 21:11 resonates with Virgo as the actual archetype, the sovereign virgin holding cosmic order, rather than Dagon, counterfeit fish god energy. Okay, let's look at Aries. It is considered to be the first sign, the true Virgo order. Aries is the spark of divine fire, the seed of life entering in the cycle. Virgo as 9 brings this seed to full gestation. She receives Aries spark and ensures it reaches the harvest. Now this is going on inside the body. The counterfeit Dagon Aries fire is wrapped into conquest and war. Warlike. Always want to fight. Always accusing. They quick to say, oh, somebody is jealous of them. Do you know that spirit? The seed is spilled into violence instead of cultivated in the wholeness. They always want to destroy somebody. That's that low vibrational stuff. The Great Mother wants to save. The one that's in the higher stuff, that think in the higher stuff, even the people that appears to be not good, you want to save them too. You wish none to perish. Leo, the 5th sign. True Virgo order. Leo is the radiant heart, the sovereign sun. Not that sun up there in the sky now, in that earth. It's beyond this. Virgo harmonized Leo fire with her discernment. The heart light is carried safely to fruition. Now, fruition. Counterfeit Dagon. Leo solar light is hijacked by the fish god, the priest kings, the ego solar cults, false royalty, and leaders demanding worship. Gemini, the 3rd sign, the true Virgo order. Gemini is duality, the twin. Virgo reconciles duality by harvesting both sides into wholeness. No soul lost, net unbroken. The counterfeit Dagon. Gemini duality is corrupt into confusion, endless chatter, division of the mind, fish swimming opposite direction, never whole. Fighting, just fight. The 153 as a whole. That's and that scripture talks about 153 fish. When Peter supposed to have threw the net over to the right side or something of that nature, and then he caught 53 fish. Now, Aries is the spark, +5, Leo heart +3, and Gemini duality equals Virgo, the 9th principle, the full harvest. She weaves spark and heart and duality in a single intact net. Counterfeit. The counterfeit Aries spark is violence. Leo sun is false king. Gemini duality is division. The net becomes a trap for the souls in the sea of chaos instead of safe gathering. That is the low vibration, the falseness. Now in John 21:11, Aries, Leo, Gemini energy brought to full gestation in Virgo's 9. The miracle is not about Dagon, sea power, but about the V. Synthesis. True Virgo carries the M. Now, the M symbol with the hook on the side, that's a false symbol. The true Virgo symbol is the M, just the M itself. If you go and look at the hook, that hook is the fish symbol attached to the M. And also, if you go in Hebrew, you see the Num. I think it's N-U-M. They also attach that same symbol to the Nam or the Num. Okay, so the true Virgo carries the M mark, the mystic mother in the hand. Symbol of sovereignty. Yod equals the hand and the seed of creation. Virgo is the vessel of divine order. Okay. Psalms 119, 73 through 80 yard verses, cosmic fashion by the divine hand, ending in wholeness of the heart. The true Virgo is marked with the M in the hand, aligned with the yard, which is the hand, and coded in Psalms 119 as the seed Num, which is the seed in Psalms 119, 105, 112 of the divine order, reducing to the number 9. Now, the M line in the palm, or natural seal of the soul, sovereignty. It symbolizes mother, maternal, mystic manifestation. Virgo pure role is that the daughter of the above, sovereign, and the incorruptible, the yard hand of the divine, shaping the soul into wholeness. This is why Virgo, discernment, order, wholeness, the hand of creation expresses in the human microcosm. The Virgo M has two forms. Authentic Virgo seal, the matriarchal, original. The M stands upright, whole, with no tail curve in. The tail that's curved onto the false one is that fish symbol that's attached to it. That's the tail curve. It represents the virgin, sovereign, the daughter, the feminine that is complete with herself, untouched and eternal. The counterfeit Virgo, the patriarchal, distorted. The M with the loop curved tail that looks like a fish symbol. This is the hijack sign. It emerges Virgo with Pisces, which is the fish, because the Piscean age was overlaid with the Jesus fish symbol. Remember, the age of a Pisces represent the fish, which represent Jesus, which is false. The loop is not Virgo at all. It is a grafting of the Piscean fish onto the Virgo M. That's why the early church pushed the fish symbol as the sign of Jesus. But in truth, that symbol was the Piscean distortion meant to replace the cosmic Virgo. So the loop is the fish, the Jesus Pisces age. The true M Virgo is sovereign, the daughter, eternal virgin principle. So the true Virgo is not Earth. She is cosmic. She comes from the cosmos. The distortion, the masonry, and the M. The archons hijacked the M by using it in Freemasonry, where the hand symbol and the letters became tied to the oath, secrecy, and brotherhood under patriarchal control. Instead of symbolizing the mother's sovereignty, the M was bound into hierarchy of initiates under the great architect, or a distorted Anu, A-N-U, like Sky Father. He would be that's who he is in the moon. He's considered to be the Sky Father. And it was hijacked. The letter M. Distorted Marian cult's church Virgin Mary. The church replaced the stellar version Soul Virgo with Mary, controlled, obedient, earthly mother figure. In Marian, the M became the monogram seen on metals and miraculous metals. This twisted the M from a sign of cosmic sovereignty into symbol of obedience and submission to the patriarchal mother of God cult. Distortion 3. Pop culture Madonna. In modern times, the M gets hijacked again by figures like Madonna, the singer, and the music industry, where M equals materialism, lust, and inverted version imagery. The true virgin wholeness is distorted into sexualized fraction version whore archetype, draining energy. Now, truth versus counterfeit. The M in the hand is a soul mark of Virgo, the sovereign virgin. It aligns with Yod, which is the hand of creation, which is in Psalms 119, the wholeness, and the number 9 is completion. The counterfeit is Freemasonry, M as secret society power, Marian cult, M as Mary, obedience to God. God's supposed to be the one that's in the moon, the Father. You know, those of you that's walking around saying Father, you're talking to Yardabeth. Pope, music industry, M as Madonna, materialism, version inverted. So the archons inverted the M from the cosmic seal of sovereignty into the brand of control, submission, and inversion. The true seal of the hand and the forehead over in Revelation, that's what it's talking about here. The hand is Yod, represents action, deeds, and the way you manifest your life in the world. The forehead is the cerebral, not the pineal gland. The pineal gland is connected to that fourth dimension where you call Yardabeth or Anu the Father. Represents thoughts, intention, conscience, and awareness. The divine seal occurs when both hand and forehead are aligned with the genuine light of the above pleroma. This alignment is mirrored in the true Virgo M hand mark, symbolizing sovereignty, discernment, and wholeness. In Revelation 7, The 144,000s are described as being sealed in their forehead. This is not a literal stamp, but a representation of consciousness aligned with the soul proper order. The true seal, the hand, which is the yard, reflects our deeds, which is behaviors, and how we shape the world while you're in here. The forehead, the cerebellum, reflects thought, intentions, and consciousness. The divine seal is formed when both align with the light of the above pleroma. This mirror in the true Virgo M hand mark, a symbol of sovereignty, discernment, and wholeness. In Revelation 7, let's see, this mouse just don't want to move when I want it to move. In Revelation 7, the 144,000 are sealed in their forehead, not by a literal stamp, but thought that the alignment of consciousness with the soul proper order. The counterfeit Virgo, archonic, distorted. The nature, projected as earth sign, tied down to material, agriculture, or service slave roles. Instead of a sovereign daughter, she is rebranded as a worker or servant of others. You know, I remember in my early years, that's exactly what I was saying in my early years. I'm a servant to the people. Elemental distortion, earthbound, limited to harvest, fertility, and bodily cycle, moon-based distortion. Yes, those of you that are moon-based, you're actually giving homage to Yaldabaoth. And I know it's easy. It's easy to stay comfortable in what you've been used to all your life, because I did the same thing. You remember, I grew up in the Bible. I grew up in the church. I grew up in the Bible, and so each time I was getting initiated or remembering what it's supposed to be, and it's okay if you don't know. It's okay. You're better off letting it go. And it's okay if you get embarrassed. There's nothing wrong with being embarrassed because you missed the mark. It's okay. We all miss the mark. But the most important thing is that you're learning it now, or you're remembering it now. Now, the vibration, the critical is in a draining way. That's what's going on with it. Perfectionism. Focus on perfectionism when none of us are. Perfectionism is false. That wounds instead of refines. Servitude instead of sovereignty. I can give you. I work with some Virgos, and I tell you, they were horrible. They focus more on the mistakes that I made than the person. And I'm glad that the creators made me a strong person, because they would have broke me. They would literally broke me. One of them, I gave her, I took her, she had a baby, and I took her some baby stuff, just trying to be kind. And then the other Virgo asked her, well, why did she give it to you? And the girl said to her, I don't know. And I know this because the girl came back and told me. And she said, I don't know why she got it. Instead of her being grateful and thankful, you know. And I couldn't understand. But then after a period of time, I realized they both were low vibrational Virgos. And I learned my lesson with the two of them, because they were the beginning experience that I had with low vibrational Virgos, which tells me they are counterfeits. They're just straight counterfeit. They're the ones that will have the information, but the behavior is not, doesn't line up with compassion. They don't line up with compassion, neither one of them. Both of the girls were selfish. That was my experience with both of them. I mean, I gave her some money to get me something to eat one day, and she didn't tell me she was gonna stay gone. She stayed gone. Girlfriend stayed gone till it was time for me to leave that place, and then she had the audacity to put the food that she bought for me in the refrigerator like I wanted the food from that nasty refrigerator. That place was filthy. They kept that place filthy. I didn't want that, and she didn't offer me my money back either. But she knew she was not gonna make it back in time before I left. I could have kept my money and bought me something to eat after I left from there. But they were very selfish, very, very selfish, and I couldn't believe the experiences that I was experiencing. And I met many more Virgos after that. I have 2 Virgo granddaughters. They're nothing like them, and they're young too. But anyway, and they're very considerate. So the energy signature feels bonding, heavy, and control, often linked to guilt, shame, and unworthiness. The connection tied to the counterfeit luminaries, which is the sun and the moon, societal roles and patriarchal narratives of virginity and sexual control. And both of them was into male. Before you can get and one of them was and it's funny because she called herself being pure, but she was with an African guy, and the African guy had told her that I was a witch, and I had to laugh about it because if I was a witch, I promise you, I would be. I ain't gonna say it on YouTube, but I would be a rich person, never sick, have plenty of money, and be traveling. And all the people that I see that are sick, I would just zap them and make them better. All the people that are poor, I would just zap them and make them non-poor. Trust me, what they call a witch, that ain't in my heart. But anyway, ignorance will do that. How they tell the difference. Uplift versus drain. Soul, Virgo uplifts the soul. Counterfeit Virgo drains energy into service and guilt. Yeah, that's what they do. Freedom versus bondage. Soul Virgo is sovereign, roles, expectations, and cycles. Enslaved, counterfeit Virgo enslaves. Cosmic versus earthly. Soul Virgos is eternal and stellar. Counterfeit Virgo reduced to an earth sign and agriculture goddess. They call themselves goddess. We don't do that. We that are that came from the cosmos. We don't give ourselves titles. We don't have to. Inner knowing versus outer control. So Virgo directs you inward to your wholeness. I've been doing that ever since I've been on this channel. I've been telling you, go inside of yourself. Go inside of yourself. The other Virgo, the lower Virgo, the counterfeit Virgo, is going to tell you to focus on your intellect, on your information, because they think they're better than anybody else. That's the other thing, that they're very narcissistic. They talk about Gnostics. They're very narcissistic, and they're cold as ice. They're selfish as I don't know what. I've had some experience with some of them, and I said, well, I've said to myself, oh, they're going to change, they'll get better. No, they're counterfeits. Counterfeits won't get better. Don't waste your time with counterfeit people. When you see signs of counterfeit, keep it trucking, because they're not going to change. And I promise you, there's more counterfeits down here in this earth than true soul children. They're very few soul children. Remember when the God said that multiply, replenish the earth? What was being multiplied and what was being replenished was the counterfeits, because the Great Mother would never tell you that. In short, Soul Virgo is the version that needs no outside completion. Counterfeit Virgo is the distorted archetype that changed her to the earth, service, and patriarchal control. She's controlled by the patriarchal because she got to have herself a man. It's not that we as soul Virgos put men down. We lift you up, but we're not governed by what you say and what we just not, because we know what we know, and that's for our lives, and that's just it. But a person that is low vibrational would say that we're controlling, or we this or we that, just negative names, and we're not those things. Only a soul man that's operating in his higher self would know about the woman that's operating it. He would be able to know the difference between the soul being versus the counterfeit. He should. Virgo is the one of the oldest constellation, always pictured as a woman holding the sheaf or wheat or a branch. Initially, she wasn't about agriculture, but about the celestial daughter, the eternal virgin who carries divine wisdom, the seed of the Logos within herself. Eternal virgin. Virgin didn't mean sexually unattached. Sexually untouched in origin. It meant whole, complete, sovereign, needing no man. They changed the meaning, just like everything else. She was the archetype of the incorruptible purity. The staring maiden of justice who never bowed to corruption. The matriarchal principle. She represented the feminine wisdom principle in the heavens, or the pleroma. Pleroma is pleroma. The heavens is a distorted word. The one who discerns truth from illusions and guides the threshold to higher realms. Now, the archons cannot go past that fourth dimension. There is some stories out there that will tell you that they put a dome up there to keep us blocked down here. They are blocked. They can't go past that fourth dimension themselves. So they keep us blocked down here, those that have souls. But when it's time for us to go, we will go. But we have to lift ourselves spiritually past the illusion. The illusion of the fourth dimension and the third dimension, that moon and that sun. Now, what I've been seeing some really funny stuff going on with that sun and that moon lately. Now, how did this distorted happen? The patriarchal earth binding, when patriarchal system took over, they lowered her from the heavens or the pleroma to the earth. Instead of being the virgin of the stars, she became tied to the farming, the harvest, and servitude, which is really the counterfeit. Virginity was redefined not as wholeness, but as a sexual restriction controlled by men. Elemental switch, the cosmic earth sign. Astrology was reshaped under patriarchal archonic system primarily through Babylon, Roman, and later medieval filters. Virgo, the celestial version, was assigned the earth element to bind her sovereignty into material, labor, cycles, and service. This was an archonic move to take the daughter of Pleroma, and make her into a servant of the soul, because that's what they did. Moon and ministerial bonding. The archon also tied Virgo to the lunar cycles, administration, luring her from a sovereign cosmic principle to biology and blood sacrifice, cycles, feeding the moon. Instead of representing cosmic incorruptibility, she became linked with earthly fertility and the harvest of blood and eggs. Counterfeit personality traits. Astrology books now describe Virgo as critical, perfectionist, servant, worker, tied to health and agriculture. These traits are distortion, not her true soul essence. They make the virgin into a housemaid instead of a sovereign daughter of light. Let's look at truth versus counterfeit, condensed. Truth, stellar, virgin, sovereign daughter, incorruptible, cosmic purity, crown mind, discerner of truth, and eternal wholeness. The counterfeit, the earth sign, servant, enslaved person, tied to cycles, fertility cult, perfectionist, critic, bound to the moon and agriculture. So the counterfeit Virgo was engineered by luring the virgin from the stars to the earth, and for sovereignty to servitude, from cosmic purity to lunar blood cycles. Let's look at the distortion of the word heaven. Heaven comes from the Old English Heofon, which is Heofon, meaning sky. Church translate used it to lump together many different sacred words from Hebrew, Greek, and earlier cosmologies. In doing so, it blurred cosmic truth and made heaven into a bogle, church-owned idea, a place you go after death if obedient. The original word before distortion in Hebrew, Shamayon, Shamayim, literally the waters above. This points to the cosmic ocean, the infinite expanse, not a place but a vastness, the living field above the firmament. In Greek, Uranus. Uranus is Ouranos. It means sky, starry expanse. In myth, Uranus was the starry sky itself, the celestial dome. It wasn't originally a moral heaven, but the cosmic vault of stars. Now, I remember this very, 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 very much. When I was a child, I used to see stars and I used to try to count them up in the sky. And when I became a young adult, they were still up in the sky. And when I got older, my intuition told me all the stars that you was counting in the sky is now on the ground. And so those that was up there as stars, they're in the ground now. You're walking in as a human. That's what. So you got to figure out, are you one of those? Now, the Egyptian Nut, N-U-T, the starring goddess, the one that you see a symbol with her arched over the earth, swallowing the sun and birthing it again. The true above was personified as a cosmic mother. Now, Samurai and Babylon. In Samurai and Babylon, A-N and then A-N-U just simply meant sky or above. Not no deity. Y'all gave it that, y'all created that. In Samurai, A-N meant sky or above. It was not originally a person, but a cosmic principle. The vast expanse, the endless dome above. In the oldest strat, and was genderless, more like the high place or the above, not a bearded man in the clouds. Now, I saw the bearded man in the moon. Later hijacked in patriarchal God worship, the corruption patriarchal archonic shift. Over time, and without the U became personified as Anu, A-N-U, a male sky god. This was the distortion. The neutral expanse of the above was hijacked and made into a male deity figure. A patriarchal father sky archetype. Once personified, the priesthood could then demand obedience, sacrifices, and control access to the heaven or the Parama through this god. That's where the patriarchal distorted enters, turning the above into a sky father with authority rather than the open, infinite field. They often avoided heaven and spoke of the Parama, which is the fullness, the true eternal above, beyond the counterfeit sun and moon. Over time, the word was stripped of its cosmic meaning and forgotten, replaced by the generic heaven, the word heaven. The archons created a false heaven, the astral plane, the lunar recycling realm, to keep souls from reaching the true fullness. And they start when you come out the womb. They start their mess they know exactly the soul children. And I guaranteed you, and I hadn't met all of them, I guarantee that the soul child has been having problems ever since that soul child been here. And then what's so funny, they will show you how they prosper wickedness. to try to get you to turn jealous, and it's not in you to turn jealous. You're not going to do it because the Great Mother put some stuff inside of you not to be jealous. Now, I did go through some anger because I saw wrong done in this earth just like I see it today, but guess what? I don't get mad like I used to because it is what it is. I'm also seeing karma take place. You got positive and negative karma that take. You reap what you sow. And I'm seeing people that do harm to people, I'm seeing it coming back on them. I don't laugh at you, but I know some people that do. I don't laugh because it ain't funny to me. It's sad. So the distortion, later Christianity suppressed it, pushing people to think only of the Uranus, which is heaven and sky, or paradise, which is God, garden imaginary. The difference. Ask your name for above. Is Shamalan, Shamayim, water above. Caranus means the starring vault, the parama, the fullness, and even the mother nut. The proper name is NWT or NUIT or NOOT. The distorted word heaven repurposed to mean a reward system controlled by religious authority, tied to judgment, hell, and obedience. That starts with the archons. So when you see that the hierarchy ranking started with the archons, and they are high ranking here in the earth. That's what they got it from. The earth is controlled by the archons. And the more you see the illusion for what it is, it will tear apart the illusion. The more you open your eye to see, it doesn't matter if it's only 50 of us down here. The word that says one can put 1,000 to flight, two can put 10,000 to flight. That's talking about the soul, children, and you can. The more you open your eye to see what it is, it's gonna tear it down, because the illusion can't stand, and those that sit in illusion, they can't stay. It is what it is. I was thinking myself, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. When my intuition gave me the knowledge of this holographic sun out here, I would look into the sun and then certain things that I expect to take place. It's supposed to be a sun of healing. That's not a healing sun. That sun is it's like a vampire. It drains you of your energy. So I suggest the only ones that's going to sit under that sun are the counterfeits, because that sun is connected to that moon. And the only people that's going to worship the moon and count the slivers, the days and nights in the moon, are those that are counterfeit. And so the counterfeits will call the soul children evil, wicked, when in actuality the counterfeits are evil and wicked. And you got to pay attention to them too, because they call credible source as books. Credible source is not books. The credible source is your soul inside of you, if you have one. Now, for those that are counterfeits, the credible source would be the books, would be articles, would be videos, people that are speaking. That would be credible source for you, but that's not credible source for me. Credible source for me is my intuition. Now I will look at some articles, and I will listen to people in their videos, and I will look at some articles, and if they have some truth in it, I'll add it underneath the video, and I'll tell you straight up, use your discernment. Okay, some key points. The true Virgo is a seal. It's sealed in the hand and the head. That's the Virgo. That's the true Virgo. And he has the mother's seal. Okay. Now, is that Virgo? Does that Virgo? Is that Virgo has children? I'm gonna be honest with you, and I have to tell you this, and this is probably gonna mess you up. That those spirits goes to that moon, and the spirits are recycled from that moon, and so that those they have figured out a way to put a spirit in your womb that will come out your womb and try to destroy you as a soul child. It's not going to do anything to the counterfeits, but it will put a counterfeit spirit in your womb to destroy you. Because if you don't have knowledge of yourself, especially when you're young, if you don't have you haven't awakened yet and you don't have knowledge of yourself, well, a counterfeit spirit can come through your womb into that baby inside your womb. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's okay. If you're a soul child, you get what I'm saying. If you're a counterfeit, you ain't gonna get this. But anyway, the counterfeit Virgo is archonic, trapped. It uses the pioneer. It uses the pioneer. Makes you think that the pioneer is the master gland, and it's not the master gland. It is the gland of illusion. But you do know some truth. So it has some truth, but mostly illusion. And so to break through that illusion, you have to have a soul, because that's the only thing that's gonna help you is that soul. So the beast system, when it talks about the beast system over in Revelation, the beast system starts up there at the fourth dimension, and it dwindles down to the earth, because the fourth dimension is connected to the earth. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Well, I think that's it. I have quite a bit of stuff, but I'm not going to read all that. Well, I guess I could read. Let's see here. Okay. The Virgo, in truth, in the virgin, the sovereign daughter, hold within herself. Now the counterfeit reduces her to servitude, earthly toil, and fractured identity. The Aries, in truth, is the pioneer flame of soul, courage. It is counterfeit becomes aggressive and war and dominate like. And I've seen some of that. Went to some of the people channel, and they mentioned that they are Aries and they have warlike, and my thing is, everybody ain't jealous. So I'm definitely not. If I come to your channel and even just say if I make a comment, it's done with good intent. The Taurus, in truth, is stability, beauty, and grounding in the eternal. Its counterfeit is materialism, greed, and stubbornness. The Gemini, in truth, is divine communication, wisdom, twin expression. Its counterfeit is deception, dual traps, and endless chatter. The Cancer, in truth, is nurturing, protection, cosmic memory, and the counterfeit becomes over attachment, clinging, and emotional manipulation. The Leo, in truth, is a radiant soul, sovereignty, divine, um, woman and man, sovereignty. Its counterfeit is ego, vanity, and false rulership. That would be the Leo. Uh, the Virgo, again, we covered above, but note its counterfeit is especially emphasized because the Virgo archetype is central to the soul wholeness. Libra, in truth, is balance, justice, and sacred harmony. Its counterfeit is false compromise, superficial appearance, or imbalance masked as fairness. They mask as fairness, but they're not. I've been across a low vibrational Libra as well. Scorpio, in truth, is as soon as you walk out the presence of that Libra, they talking about you behind your back. Mask as fairness when they're not. Scorpio, in truth, is a profound transformation and soul resurrection. Its counterfeit becomes obsession, control, and destructive passion. The Sagittarius, in truth, is a quest for higher wisdom and truth. Its counterfeit is dogma, restless, wandering without direction, fanaticism. Capricorn, in truth, is the mountain climber of spirit, discipline, and sacred responsibility. Its counterfeit is rigid authority, oppression, and cold ambition. The Aquarius, in truth, is cosmic vision, collective uplift, divine innovation. Its counterfeit is collectivism, and that erases individuality, false utopias, or technological enslavement. The Pisces, in truth, is compassion, unity, and mystical, transcendent. Its counterfeit is escapism, delusion, and victimhood. So, I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I kept wondering why in the world I keep meeting these counterfeit these Virgos were on low vibration, and I guess my intuition just said let me just help this girl out because she don't know what to make of it, but now I know it. I know what it is now. And they're not going to change. Don't even bother wasting your time with them. You can't teach them anything. Because the soul being at this point is going to get it. It's going to get it. You know. If you're not a soul being, I've learned that this because it happened to me. When you can have a church full of 400 people in that church, and the Great Mother ascend you to one person in that church that has 400 people, and in your ignorance, you think it's going to reach all 400. No. She will send you to a church to talk to one person. And that's why the road is wide, but the gate is narrow. And only a few going to find it. And the few that's going to find it are the soul children. It's not that many down here. So, until the next time, good people, take care.